I wanted to talk about a time back in high school where, I failed my driver's test multiple times, really. It all started basically, I was 15, sophomore year, and, in California, you could get your driver's license before no, when you turn 16. So I took my, permit test, like the lessons online, and then I went to go, take the permit test. And and I failed the first time. I think you could miss like, if I remember correctly, maybe like six questions, six or like seven questions. And I know I missed um one more than you needed to, which is, why I failed. And, if that wasn't a bad omen and, a sign that, I was doing something wrong. I don't know what is, but basically, I remember being super sad that I failed, and I had to wait like 2 weeks, I believe, because they don't let you take it for some reason. I don't know why don't they, let a minor instantly drive a vehicle. So I waited 2 more weeks, and I passed it, and I started my driver's training test or the behind the wheel training, and I did god awful at that. My instructor, he'd always get mad at me, just because like, well, I was kind of a wimp. Um, I don't know if you could tell. And I couldn't really do much of anything, but yeah. He got mad, but I remember the last time, think he was just fed up because he had to do like 3 lessons. And I think the last time he just wanted to give me like a little bit of hope, even though I think deep down he knew I wasn't gonna pass. So he was like, yeah, if you keep on driving like that, you're gonna get your license in no time. And that brought me a little bit of like courage to be able to do it because because everyone was telling me I couldn't drive for shit. Which, they weren't wrong, but not the words you want to hear coming out of people's mouths. But anyways, I set my appointment. A month rolls by because the appointments take fucking forever to set up. And I get there, and the lady who's gonna do the test for me, oh wow, she was not happy to see me. She was really rude, which I guess makes sense because I was like obviously 16 now, and I get in there. I'm actually doing pretty good until I have to make a left turn at this like road, and okay, I guess just like brain fog for me, but honestly, I'm looking at the intersection and I see the left lane, nobody there. I didn't know that there was another lane past it, and she just told me to go left, and I didn't know which one it was because the road was kind of slopey, so I was creeping up like upwards, and I couldn't see, and I decided to go, and she just like pulls the emergency brake, and I fail instantly. And I remember going to school the next day, which, PSA for anyone who's going to take their driver's test. Don't don't tell your friends that you're, taking it. Just it's not a good idea. You're gonna get clowned on. Unless you have good friends, uh, then you could go ahead and say it. But anyways, I felt pretty sad. I get to school and just, like the whole buddy already knows what happened for somehow. Not a good experience, but anyways, I wait another 2 months because, like I said, it takes forever to set up an appointment, which it sucks. California DMV is horrid, but I assume it's like that everywhere. I set up the appointment, and it starts raining like it is right now. It starts okay, it starts fucking pouring. And my dad's like, are you sure you want to do this? We could always just wait a bit. I wasn't really in the right mindset. I was thinking, I gotta prove everyone wrong that I could actually drive. So I'm like, yeah, we could do it. I get there, and it's the same lady, and she has like another person there. I guess like they were instructor in training, That's what she said, and she sat like right behind me, which, was pretty awkward and not nerve-wracking at all. So I get there, I do the test, and I fail again. Um, this time, apparently for going too slow, which, I thought you're supposed to go slow in the rain. She said I was going at sometimes 8 miles, 8 miles under the speed limit, which, if I can recall correctly, you could drive 5 miles under. You're supposed to drive 5 miles under the speed limit, when it's raining. But I guess, she thought otherwise and failed me right there. And I was obviously pretty sad. And I remember her, she couldn't be, she couldn't be more of an asshole. She was like, "Oh, it's okay to cry. This all happens to people." And I'm like, "Wow, yeah, you're the one who failed me for some bullshit like excuse like that." So I get out, I get out the car. They get out the car because I gotta go tell the fucking, I gotta tell my dad that I failed, which fucking sucked. But anyways, I get to school and clown show happens again. I get clowned on, and I'm over here trying to explain to myself, like, guys, it was raining. What else was I supposed to fucking do? But they're not letting out, and I guess it's understandable. But anyways, now if somehow one of my classmates is watching this, or a close friend of mine, uh, you'll know that I failed it twice, but actually failed it the third time. So basically, a learner's permit will get you 3 tries. You could take the behind the wheel test 3 tries, but if you fail all of them, you have to retake the permit test and then reschedule the um, behind the wheels test. So this third try was basically a one and done thing. Like I had to pass this, or else I'd have to cop off some like $45. So I set the appointment, and it's like a chill day. But I am pretty nervous because like with the weight on that, like I wanted to pass this thing. Like every one of my friends, already had their driver's license. Like I needed to have it, to be cool. I wasn't fucking cool if I didn't have my driver's license. So I do it. I'm doing pretty good for like about like what, like 4 minutes, and then until she tells me to reverse park, and that's where I just fuck up. Like I just I get too nervous. I freeze up. I don't know what I'm doing, and I fail. She let me do like I think it was 3 times. Each time, I just didn't know what the fuck I was doing. She'd be like, "Okay, go ahead, you could try again." Which, if I'm being real, I'm pretty sure like she'd only give me one try. And that one try, she just wanted to see if I could actually do it or not. And I didn't, and I failed, which sucked. But this time she wasn't an asshole. She kind of told me, hey, this is how you would do it, and she let me like park the car and explained like actually how to do it. And I did end up doing it, although I didn't pass. And then we went back. She wrote the thing. She marked up the paper. I forgot what she put on it, but it was like something like not usable or something, or expired. And then this time it was with my mom. And my mom was like, "Oh, it's whatever. Let's just go get something to eat." And it wasn't that bad. And I finally learned my lesson. I didn't tell the whole fucking school that I was gonna take the test. She knew it was cool. But anyways, uh, yeah, that's basically what happened. I did end up passing it the next time. I remember I almost failed the fourth time because I thought she said turn left at some random's parking lot. I mean not parking lot, garage way. But I did pass, and I was officially licensed at 16. No, 17. I think I was 16 or 17. I don't know if I was 16, so I might have been 16. So if I remember correctly, I think I just turned 17 when I passed it. But yeah, only took me a year and a half. But hey, I did it.